Welcome back to the YouTube channel, the ultimate destination for coin enthusiasts, treasure seekers, and anyone fascinated by how small pieces of metal can carry enormous value and mysterious stories from America's rich numismatic history. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the modern collecting world, the 1989 A.D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a humble copper-plated zinc penny that, under the right circumstances, can command a staggering $44 million due to its extremely rare errors, anomalies, and extraordinary minting mistakes that make it a priceless find among collectors. Now, when people first hear that a 1-cent coin from 1989, minted in Denver and bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, could be worth tens of millions of dollars, they usually laugh in disbelief, thinking it's an exaggeration or a myth. But as we unravel the story of this extraordinary cent, you'll discover that what seems ordinary at first glance can turn into a life-changing discovery, and that within the world of coin collecting, rarity, condition, and historical quirks can transform something as small as a penny into a multimillion-dollar artifact. The 1989 A.D. Lincoln cent, struck at the Denver Mint, was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was undergoing changes in technology and quality control, transitioning from older engraving methods to newer, more automated systems. This era saw the introduction of numerous small variations and errors that sometimes slipped past quality checks, resulting in coins that collectors today prize for their unique features. The regular 1989 A.D. cent is made of a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, following the Mint's 1982 transition away from the solid copper cents that had been standard for decades. But it's among these zinc-based coins that some of the rarest and most valuable varieties have emerged, particularly when a minting mishap resulted in a coin being struck on the wrong planchet, double-struck, or showing extraordinary die errors. Some examples of the 1989 A.D. cent are rumored to have been struck on leftover bronze planchets, possibly remnants from earlier years. These transitional errors are among the most sought after by numismatists because they represent a bridge between two eras of coinage, and any such surviving piece is a literal mistake of history. A 1989 A.D. cent struck on a 95% copper planchet would weigh around 3.11 grams instead of the typical 2.5 grams of zinc coins, and that subtle difference could mean the coin was never supposed to exist in that composition. Discovering such a specimen could indeed lead to immense value, as transitional errors have previously fetched tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But the 1989 A.D.'s fame doesn't end there. Collectors have also documented double die obverse errors where Lincoln's portrait, date, or inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear slightly doubled, a visual distortion caused by misalignment during the hubbing process. Such coins are exceedingly rare from this year and mint mark combination, but when they appear, they stand out unmistakably, especially under magnification, revealing the intricate imperfections that make them treasures. A double die can elevate a penny's value from mere cents to thousands, and in extraordinary, perfectly preserved cases with multiple striking anomalies, the price can climb to astronomical figures. Then there are the off-center strikes, coins where the image is not properly aligned within the circular rim because the blank planchet was misplaced during striking. Some 1989 A.D. cents have been found with 5%, 10%, or even 50% of the design missing, replaced by a blank crescent of metal, a visual oddity that makes them instantly recognizable and desirable to collectors who love dramatic errors. The greater the percentage of the off-center strike, while still retaining visible key details like the date and mint mark, the higher the potential value. But the most extraordinary and mythic of all are the coins said to be the result of multiple minting mistakes combined, like an off-center double-struck bronze transitional error or a coin showing both die cracks and planchet flaws, each layer of imperfection multiplying its uniqueness and historical importance. It's these extremely rare specimens, often discovered years later by unsuspecting people going through old jars of change, that spark legends of multimillion-dollar pennies. The reason the 1989 A.D. penny could theoretically reach $44 million lies not only in the physical errors but also in the market forces of rarity, historical curiosity, and collector passion. When one-of-a-kind coins hit the auction stage, competition among wealthy collectors can drive prices to dizzying heights. A single coin can become a status symbol, a piece of Americana, and a tangible reminder of how human error within precision machinery can create beauty and value beyond imagination. The 1989 AD Pennies Denver origin also plays a role, as the Denver Mint has a long history of producing both highly consistent and occasionally flawed coins due to the sheer scale of its production. With billions of Lincoln cents minted in 1989, even a handful of error coins can exist without detection, waiting decades to be found. Over the years, coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated and certified numerous error cents, some of which have sold for small fortunes, but the most extreme combinations of errors, those possibly connected to experimental planches or die transitions, have become legendary. Some collectors believe that the $44 million valuation stems from the existence of a unique specimen exhibiting multiple overlapping errors, struck on a leftover copper planchet, featuring a dramatic double strike, and possessing an off-center misalignment so distinct that it appears almost like a prototype piece rather than a mistake. There are also reports of certain 1989 AD cents with broad strikes, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to spread wider than normal and lose its rim. Broad strike errors distort the coin's shape but retain all design details, producing an unmistakable look that numismatists adore. Others may feature die cracks, tiny raised lines that occur when a die begins to fracture from stress, forming visible veins across Lincoln's face or the reverse memorial. Some collectors have affectionately called these lightning strike errors because of their appearance, and coins displaying heavy die cracks in unique patterns often sell for far more than their face value. There are even examples of 1989 AD cents exhibiting lamination errors, where impurities or bonding flaws in the copper plating cause portions of the surface to peel or bubble, creating one-of-a-kind texture variations that can't be replicated. These natural errors give each coin a fingerprint of imperfection, turning what would normally be discarded into a numismatic masterpiece. Furthermore, the modern fascination with pennies worth millions has drawn attention to coins that combine high-grade preservation with striking errors. Imagine a 1989 AD penny, flawlessly uncirculated, shining in its original red luster, showing both a double die and an off-center strike, a combination so unlikely that its uniqueness could drive collectors into a bidding frenzy. Historical context adds yet another layer of intrigue. In 1989, the U.S. economy was strong, but inflation had long eroded the purchasing power of the cent, and yet, these coins continued to be minted by the billions. The irony that a 1-cent piece from a time of economic abundance could later be worth millions because of a minting blunder captures the imagination of anyone who appreciates history's twists. The Lincoln cent series, with its long run since 1909, has always been a favorite for error hunters, and the 1989 AD stands out because it's both modern enough to be found in circulation and old enough to have potential minting irregularities that today's automated systems would prevent. Some experts believe that a handful of special strike test coins, experimental pieces never meant for circulation, might have been created around 1989 at Denver to test new die alloys or planchet compositions, and one of those could have slipped into circulation unnoticed. If such a coin exists, it could easily justify the staggering valuation attached to the rumored $44 million specimen. The idea that somewhere in an old coin jar, in a forgotten box of change, or hidden in plain sight within an inherited collection, lies a coin capable of transforming someone's life adds to the allure and mystique. The $44 million 1989 AD cent represents not just numismatic rarity but the dream of discovery, the hope that something small, overlooked, and ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. It's a reminder of how human curiosity and attention to detail can turn mistakes into treasures. For instance, coin roll hunters who meticulously search through hundreds or thousands of pennies have occasionally found valuable double die or off-metal errors worth thousands, proving that it's not impossible for life-changing finds to surface. The 1989 AD is especially worth checking because of the frequency of subtle die variations and planchet inconsistencies during that period. The tiniest difference, like the texture of the copper plating, the sharpness of the mint mark, or the shape of Lincoln's ear, can separate a regular coin from a multi-million-dollar one. This is why experienced collectors rely on precision scales, magnifying loupes, and high-resolution photography to document and verify their finds. Each confirmed error becomes a data point in the ongoing story of the mint's production history. Even the reverse side of the 1989 AD Lincoln cent, showing the Lincoln Memorial, has been known to feature minor misalignments, die clashes, and even filled die errors where letters Lee. Next! The 2011 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that's rumored to be worth an astonishing $35 million because of its remarkable errors, minting mistakes, and the unique circumstances that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. At first glance, this small copper-plated zinc coin seems like any other cent you might find in your pocket, but beneath that ordinary surface lies a rare combination of minting anomalies and historical quirks that transformed this particular issue into a legend in the numismatic world. The 2011 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest and most efficient minting facilities in the United States, responsible for producing billions of coins each year, and yet, even in such a controlled environment, rare mistakes sometimes escape the presses, mistakes that collectors dream about finding. The allure of this coin lies in its mix of dramatic minting errors, mysterious origins, and the nearly impossible odds of such a flawed coin surviving the minting process undetected. Some examples of the 2011 D penny display double die errors on Lincoln's profile, where you can see a faint but unmistakable doubling around the letters in the word liberty or the phrase "In God We Trust," and sometimes even on Lincoln's eye or the date itself. This doubling occurs when the die shifts slightly between impressions during the hubbing process, leading to a ghost-like duplication that collectors covet because it shows a glimpse into the precise yet fallible nature of coin production. Another type of error associated with this coin is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is slightly shifted to one side, leaving part of the rim blank or causing Lincoln's head to appear unnaturally close to the edge. These off-center strikes are visually striking, instantly recognizable, and can make even a 1-cent coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on how extreme the misalignment is. But what truly elevates the 2011 D penny's mythical $35 million valuation are the stories of a few coins that reportedly combine multiple errors, a double die strike, a broad strike that expands the coin's diameter, and even a rare lamination flaw where part of the metal surface peels away like a thin layer, revealing the raw zinc core beneath the copper coating. These hybrid error coins are exceedingly rare, often occurring due to multiple machine malfunctions or mishandled planchets that bypass the mint's rigorous inspection systems. The 2011 D penny's rarity is amplified by the fact that the minting process had become highly automated and quality control had improved significantly by the 2010s, making serious minting mistakes much less common than in earlier decades. When an error coin does escape in the modern era, it becomes instantly valuable because collectors know that it represents not only a mechanical anomaly but also a historical curiosity, a coin that slipped through the cracks of a system designed to be nearly flawless. Experts have noted that some of the 2011 D pennies also exhibit weak strikes, where certain details of Lincoln's face or the lettering appear faint due to insufficient pressure during the strike. In other cases, a die clash occurred, meaning the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly impressions of the reverse design visible on the obverse side or vice versa. Such coins are prized for their eerie beauty and the narrative they carry, a visible record of an error frozen in metal. Another fascinating possibility behind the 2011 D penny's incredible valuation is the rumor of a transitional composition error. While standard 2011 cents were made from copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, there are whispers that a few planchets intended for a different coin type or year were mistakenly used, producing a coin with an unexpected metal composition, possibly a bronze planchet similar to those used prior to 1982, or even a foreign planchet intended for another denomination or country. If a 2011 D penny were found on a bronze planchet, its metallic makeup alone would make it a multi-million-dollar rarity, as it would represent a modern resurrection of a composition that hadn't been used for nearly 3 decades. The combination of composition anomalies, die varieties, and striking errors all contribute to the legend of the $35 million 2011 D penny, but its story also reflects something deeper about human fascination with rarity and imperfection. Every collector dreams of finding a coin like this, an overlooked piece of history hiding in plain sight, a coin that turned spare change into a fortune. The idea that a single penny, casually minted in Denver in 2011, could command such immense value drives people to examine every coin that passes through their hands, searching for that elusive mistake. Some collectors claim to have found versions of the 2011 D penny with unusual color variations, coins that appear more reddish or golden than typical copper plating, possibly due to heat exposure during striking or chemical reactions in the metal surface that occurred naturally over time. Others have reported seeing partial repunched mint marks, where the letter D appears doubled or slightly offset, indicating that the die used to stamp the mint mark may have been manually corrected. These subtle details are like breadcrumbs leading to the truth of the coin's unique journey through the minting process. A single repunch mint mark can separate a common coin from a coveted variety, and when combined with other errors, the value can skyrocket exponentially. It's also possible that the most famous 2011 D penny owes its incredible price to its provenance, that is, its documented history and ownership. Coins with verifiable origins tied to notable collectors, exhibitions, or official mint investigations often command huge premiums because their stories are authenticated and add to the mystique. The collector market thrives on narratives, and a coin that survived a catastrophic press malfunction, passed through the hands of a mint employee, or was featured in a high-profile auction becomes much more than metal. It becomes a tangible artifact of chance and history. Some experts have speculated that the $35 million coin was one of a small handful of prototype strikes or test pieces accidentally released into circulation, created during a calibration run when dies or planchets were being tested before official production began. If such a coin escaped the mint, its existence would represent an almost impossible event, one that transforms an ordinary cent into an irreplaceable rarity. This would not be the first time such a thing happened. History is full of examples like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die cent, both of which became legendary because of minting mistakes. Each time a new error like this emerges, it captures the imagination of collectors around the world and reignites the hope that lightning can strike again in the most unexpected of places. The Denver Mint's operations in 2011 were running at high efficiency, producing billions of coins, and yet human oversight combined with the unpredictable nature of mechanical equipment leaves just enough room for anomalies. The machinery that strikes coins operates under immense pressure, up to hundreds of tons per strike, and even the smallest misalignment, debris, or temperature fluctuation can cause unexpected results. A worn die might lead to soft details, a clogged die might obscure parts of the design, and a damaged planchet might lead to cracks, clips, or missing areas on the finished coin. Each of these errors has its own market of enthusiasts who study, categorize, and assign value based on rarity, visibility, and aesthetic appeal. The $35 million valuation of the 2011 D penny may sound unbelievable, but when one considers how collectors value uniqueness, provenance, and historical significance, it starts to make sense within the realm of high-end numismatics. The coin's rumored discovery story adds further intrigue. Supposedly found by an unsuspecting coin roll hunter in a batch of circulated pennies, it was initially dismissed as a mere oddity until magnified examination revealed an astonishing combination of anomalies, sparking interest from experts and eventually leading to authentication and appraisal. Whether that story is entirely factual or somewhat embellished, it highlights the thrill of discovery that drives the numismatic world, the idea that life-changing finds can be hiding right under our noses. The 2011 D penny's fame also reminds us how modern coins can still surprise even in an age of advanced technology. Despite computer-controlled dies, laser engraving, and digital quality control, errors persist, proving that no system is completely immune to the unpredictable nature of machinery. That element of unpredictability is precisely what makes collecting so addictive, the knowledge that somewhere, a 1 in a billion coin might still be waiting to be found. Collectors have submitted hundreds of 2011 D pennies to grading companies in hopes of identifying the rare error version, and while many come back as ordinary strikes, a few have revealed interesting minor varieties such as die cracks along Lincoln's shoulder, small cuts on the rim where metal filled a damaged section of the die, or faint doubling on the reverse lettering, especially around the words 1 cent and United States of America. Each of these adds a layer to the coin's lore and gives hope to enthusiasts who spend hours searching through rolls. It's the dream of every hobbyist to find that 1p. Last. Today's story is going to leave you in disbelief because we are diving deep into the fascinating mystery of the 1999 United States 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and enthusiasts around the world with rumors of a staggering value reaching up to $29 million, all because of a combination of bizarre minting errors, die mistakes, planchet issues, and unique historical quirks that make it one of the most talked about modern cents in numismatic history. And if you think a penny is just a penny, you might want to check your coin jar after hearing this. The 1999 penny, though seemingly ordinary at first glance, holds secrets that connect back to the transition era of the U.S. mint's production techniques at the turn of the millennium. This was a time when the mint was preparing for the year 2000, updating presses, experimenting with dyes, and tightening tolerances, yet despite their precision, some of the most incredible minting blunders in modern US coinage emerged during this period. Among them is the now famous 1999 1-cent coin, which has captivated collectors because of a series of errors so rare and unusual that they have turned what should be a common coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece of minting mishap. Imagine holding a simple penny struck in 1999 and discovering that it bears the signs of a double die obverse, where the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust appear doubled under magnification, or even to the naked eye in some cases, creating a fascinating ghost-like shadow that instantly signals an error. This doubling error occurs when the coin die strikes the planchette twice slightly off register, causing overlapping details. But what makes the 1999 double die varieties particularly special is that they were among the last before the mint's complete digital die creation transition, meaning these mistakes represent the end of an old minting era. One of the most famous 1999 double die pennies shows clear doubling on Lincoln's eyes, giving the portrait a haunting, almost three-dimensional look. Combine that with a sharp strike and bright luster, and you have a coin that numismatic experts estimate could fetch millions in pristine, uncirculated condition due to its extraordinary rarity and demand among high-end collectors. Yet, that's not the only factor driving the $29 million valuation rumors. There's also the possibility of transitional planchette errors, cases where the penny was mistakenly struck on a planchette intended for another denomination or composition. In 1999, all 1-cent coins were supposed to be made of copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, but occasionally, due to leftover metal stock or machinery setup errors, some planchets intended for other coins could end up in the wrong press. There have been reports of 1999 cents struck on planchets meant for dimes, resulting in thinner, smaller coins with a silver hue and incredible collector value. Imagine a penny that shines like silver because it was accidentally struck on a dime blank. That's the kind of anomaly that can send collectors into a bidding frenzy. There's even speculation of a few rare 1999 cents that may have been struck on leftover bronze planchets from 1982, a year of major composition change. Such transitional errors bridge two different eras of US coinage, giving them historical significance beyond their visual oddities. A 1999 bronze planchette cent, if verified, would be one of the rarest post-1982 errors ever recorded, and it could explain why the coin's rumored value has ballooned into the multi-million-dollar range. Adding to the allure is the phenomenon of off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably misaligned with the rim, sometimes by as much as 50% or more. These off-center 1999 pennies often show Lincoln's portrait partially missing, with blank areas of the planchette exposed, an instantly visible error that makes such coins visually striking and highly collectible. Combine that with the right amount of off-centering and a readable date, and you've got a recipe for a big payout at auction. But beyond striking errors, another factor that can make a 1999 cent extremely valuable is die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs of metal that appear on the surface of the coin due to damage or wear on the die. These imperfections tell the story of a minting process under pressure, literally and figuratively, as the dies began to fail under the enormous workload of producing billions of coins leading up to the year 2000. Some 1999 cents display dramatic die cracks that run across Lincoln's face or even through the lettering, forming what collectors affectionately call BIE errors, named for the common appearance of a small die break between the letters B and E in Liberty. Such coins might not all be worth millions individually, but certain dramatic examples, especially when combined with other unique traits, can skyrocket in value when authenticated by professional grading services. And when a coin exhibits multiple simultaneous errors, like a double die combined with an off-center strike and a die crack, its rarity multiplies exponentially, which is how a single 1999 penny could reach an eye-watering figure like $29 million in a private collector market. It's not just about the metal, it's about the story, the mistake, the human element behind the machine-made perfection that the mint strives for. Every minting error is a fingerprint of imperfection, and in the world of numismatics, imperfection often equals desirability. Experts also point out that some 1999 cents have unusual colorations and surface textures, which may be the result of planchette impurities or improper plating. The copper layer that coats the zinc core must be applied evenly, but sometimes it's not, leading to dramatic appearance differences, blotchy surfaces, streaks, or even areas where the zinc shows through. These so-called incomplete plating errors can cause the coin to develop strange patterns over time, like ghostly faces or map-like patches, each unique to that coin. A 1999 cent with these visual oddities, combined with a confirmed strike error, can easily become a one-of-a-kind specimen that collectors will fight over. Another highly intriguing type of 1999 cent error involves broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the collar that normally holds it in place, allowing the metal to expand beyond its normal diameter. This results in a wider, flatter penny that looks warped or stretched, yet carries all the details of a regular strike. The rarity of such minting anomalies depends heavily on how far off the strike went and whether the date remains visible, two details that can make or break a coin's market value. Combine that rarity with the public's fascination with Y2K era items, and you have a recipe for inflated collector prices. Let's not forget, 1999 wasn't just any year, it was the end of a century, a turning point when collectors and the public alike were obsessed with the approaching millennium. Items from 1999 gained symbolic significance, representing the last chapter of the 1900s, which added even more historical desirability to any coin from that year, especially one with an extraordinary story. When you have a mint error from a transitional year that also happens to be the last of a century, collectors go wild, driving up auction prices and private sale values beyond rational expectations. Some of the highest value 1999 error cents are rumored to have sold quietly in private numismatic circles for sums reaching into the tens of millions, often to collectors who specialize in one-of-a-kind US mint anomalies. These are not your average hobbyists, they are elite buyers seeking pieces that tell a story of chaos in precision, of beauty born from error. Add to this the cultural fascination with modern rarity, the idea that something so common could be worth more than a mansion, and you begin to see how the legend of the $29 million 1999 penny took shape. Each new discovery fuels the mythos, a slightly off-colored cent found in circulation, a misaligned strike spotted on a detectorist's find, a mysterious double die seen under magnification, all add to the sense that there could be more of these incredible errors waiting to be found. Many collectors have since begun examining their 1999 pennies under microscopes and magnifying glasses, searching for those telltale signs, doubling in the date, extra thickness in the United States of America, subtle rim distortions, or texture differences that could indicate a wrong planchet. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated several remarkable 1999 cents with multiple errors, each adding to the narrative that this is a year of incredible minting oddities. And let's not overlook the proof versions minted at the San Francisco Mint. Occasionally, a proof coin or die might accidentally mix with business strike dies, leading to a proof-like finish on a regular cent, something extraordinarily rare and highly collectible. Such hybrid strikes blur the line between mint-intended quality and accidental uniqueness, pushing their values even higher. The allure of a 1999 penny worth millions isn't only about tangible rarity, it's also about psychological fascination. There's something thrilling about the idea that an overlooked coin from your change could be a hidden fortune, that you might have held a $29 million piece of history without even realizing it. It's that dream that drives collectors, that sense of mystery that keeps coin hunting alive and exciting. Stories of record-breaking sales, like rare error coins fetching 7 or 8 figures at auction, keep that dream alive. Whether it's a double-struck penny, a broad-struck off-center gem, or a transitional planchet error that defies expectations, the 1999 1 cent has become the